Obi-Doo, it's everyone's favorite boomer and vintage lens enthusiast. Today we're going to look at the Sony Alpha 6000 or the ILCE 6000. It has an eye-level electronic viewfinder along with a partially articulating screen. I use this for astronomy, and I found a good way of taking pictures of artificial satellites such as Starlink, etc. I used the Canon lens FL 55mm 1:1.2. This is old school. This lens is like almost as old as I am. That's scary. So it's a well-corrected f1.2 for full frame. Well, for on-the-chip single photos of star fields, the lens is aberrated, and in fact, the more off-axis you get, the more aberrated things look at f1.2. Although if you step down to 2.8, it gets almost perfect. So for daylight photography, you can certainly use it for daylight photography. You get outstanding, excellent results. But if you switch to movie mode like 1920 by 1080, you don't see these aberrations. They're pretty point-like. So how do you do that? Let's look. See, I had it in manual mode for still pictures, but I go here to this like a film strip thingy, and that means movie. So if you press the middle button, it says I'm on manual exposure, adjust aperture and shutter speed manually. See, it has the film strip thingy with a little subscript M next to it. So I'm going to stop this down. What you do is you set your shutter speed. In the camera, it'll go to 1/4 of a second shutter speed for film. And then you adjust your ISO to, I don't know, 5,000 for starters. And you know what? It comes out pretty good. So all you have to do is hit this button. You don't have to do interval photography or anything special. You just hit this button and it starts recording things. So ISO 5,000 at 1/4 second and at f1.2, yeah, you'll be able to see stars all right. And you'll be able to capture any artificial satellites. Of course, artificial satellites are moving, and they will appear as streaks. So when you play the video back, you'll see a little streak go by like this. So I ran a couple of tests at 12 minutes and 13 minutes on some night in July some years ago, early in the morning. So I pointed towards the North Polar region, probably to the east of the North Pole, because I'm on the surface of a sphere. And so I was looking towards the east to the celestial North Pole. And that's what I did. I hit the button and I walked away, and I came back 10 minutes and I did it again. I made a couple of adjustments to the ISO. And yeah, I caught artificial satellites. And there's so many of them now. I mean, that's just the way it is between Starlink and GPS. There's various countries got their GPS. China's ramping up their constellation. So, there's a lot of stuff up there. Because there's a lot of stuff up there, and a lot of it is, shall we say, short-term orbits. They burn up, and you see a lot of quote-unquote meteors or shooting stars, and even fireballs. Yeah, if you have like a 1-ton satellite and it's burning up in the air, that's going to make a nice fireball. So there's 2 videos following. I'm going to start using this combo some more, and I'll tell you, using a 50mm on a crop sensor is more like a 75mm. So it's not narrow, but it's not wide either. And it gives you a good trade-off of, detail of an area at a high aperture, and you can see deep. That's the thing, because Starlinks are pretty dim, a lot of them. And you want to see more. There's always going to be more dim phenomena than bright phenomena. So that's why I use this combination. And like I said, you also don't have to set the shutter. Oh, that's the thing. It's doing 1/4 frame a second. That's 4 frames a second. And it plays back in 30 frames per second. But if I have a 10-minute video or a half-hour video, I'm not going to put that up on YouTube. I'm going to run it through video velocity and turn it into 10x fast forward. So this 10-minute video becomes like a 1-minute video, and then all the artificial satellites zip around, and you get a good feel of how much stuff is up there. You know, and they still look like streaks, but the streaks move by pretty fast. So that's a pretty slick trick. And there's not much to say about this. Look at the two following videos. There's 2 videos stuck to one. It's 2 minutes for the video. And like I said, it represents like 20 minutes or 25 minutes of some morning. And look at all the stuff that zipped around. And I just randomly pointed this thing somewhere like that and walked away. So let's look at the videos. This was taken at f1.2, a quarter of a second each frame, and probably ISO 3000. See, there goes some sort of artificial satellite. So I was able to capture some stars. The sky remained black, and I could still, there goes another satellite. Look at them all. Now remember, this is 10x fast forward from the original 10 or 12 minute video clip. Oh, there was 2 at a time, right? So that's pretty cool that you could do this with a $300 used DSLR and buy a vintage lens. It costs more than the camera did. As opposed to like that stupid image intensifier. That gizmo cost me like $7,000, but that was back in 2006, and you really couldn't touch anything like this. DSLs didn't have, oh, that was a bright one. DSLs didn't have movie modes back in the day, and then you had to pay big bucks for a pro model, and so, you know, that's just the way that went. So I'm going to be using this setup some more. I got some, maybe I got a little bit shorter lens, f2. You don't want to go anything slower than f2 with this system. And then just to capture interesting stuff. So what maybe while you're looking for something bizarre, you're always going to see some activity with artificial satellites. There's thousands and thousands of them. Elon Musk wants to send up another like 10,000. And the Chinese are working like, you see how this the scene jumped? This is the second scene. I moved the camera a little bit. I think I increased the ISO somewhat. And I moved it to field with some more stars. So look at them all. Of course, this is 10x forward too. And if you had a pair of binoculars, it would be easier to see these things because they are pretty dim, believe it or not. Now, some Starlinks are pretty small and they don't weigh too much, and others are a bit heavier and they're bigger. And they're only supposed to stay up in the atmosphere for like 5 years at the most, and they start falling down and got to be replaced. And so they create fireballs because they weigh at the minimum 500 pounds and up, because the newer ones are bigger and better. So look at them all. It's amazing. There is no meteors in this video segment. Everything is artificial satellite. There may be 1 or 2 high-flying airplanes thrown in, but look at them all. You know, I'm going to do a study. I'm going to find out what the best ISO is, and then I can present that moving forward.